We are back in one of my favorite parts of Los Angeles. This is Los Feliz. Behind me is one of the most magnificent specimens of a classic Spanish home built in 1928, clocking in at around 6,000 feet, 6 bedrooms, 4.5 bathrooms. Now, you can't see what I'm seeing, but I look across the way and the entrance to Griffith Park is just there. We have the Greek Theatre about half a mile down the road, and we have Hollywood Boulevard, the old Hollywood from the 1920s and 30s, literally about a mile away. So this is not just a home, this is a piece of Los Angeles Americana. The original character has been kept, if not loved. I'm going to take you on a journey through architecture that is just about 100 years old, and it looks just as fresh and inviting as the day it was built. So without further ado, why don't you come with me for a private tour of 5470 Los Feliz Boulevard, right here in Los Feliz, Los Angeles. The journey begins as I come through this beautifully hand-carved door, which leads me into the grand foyer. So you're going to hear the word grand a lot on this tour because it was meant to feel opulent. This house was built just about 100 years ago. Some of the details are, obviously we've got the classic ceiling. I love the Saltillo tile motif in the flooring, and the detail here in the moldings is classic Spanish. One thing to take note of is the peg and groove floor, which is also 100 years old, and it looks like it could have been put in last week. I'm gonna step through this oversized living room, and we have behind me a detail that is really pretty, which is a stained glass window with a hand-painted motif. We have that over it because that faces west, so it makes the light beautifully diffused. Huge oversized fireplace from blocks of travertine with a carved travertine border. And then of course the red brick rounding out the ensemble. We're gonna go outside later in the tour, but on each side of the fireplace we have these wonderful French doors which lead us into the more recreational part of the home. Let's continue. So the thing about a home from 1928 is the details. Sometimes the details get removed, which I guess I understand, because in 100 years you probably have at least 4 or 5 owners. But I love these wrought iron gates that lead me into another very grand and opulent space, which is the dining room. Oversized, you can easily fit 10, maybe 12 people in this room. And then off of the dining room, we enter through a butler's pantry, and I love the black and white marble floors, which then lead us into the kitchen. Now the kitchen has not really changed that much in 100 years. We have this vintage Le Cornu stove, which Le Cornus are, as most of you know, the Rolls Royce of stoves. And then this, I love. This is actually the old way people used to keep their food cold. This is an ice box, actually made by Frigidaire, who still make refrigerators today. And then as I leave the butler's pantry, it brings me into this perfect breakfast nook. I do love a breakfast nook and a formal dining room when possible. And this one is at the rear of the house, so it's surrounded by the shrubbery of the house, which is perfectly manicured. Okay, let's continue as we pass through another set of wrought iron gates. I'm now going to make a left in the grand foyer, which leads me to one of my favorite rooms, which is the office. I love the design, I love the paneling, and of course we have another fireplace, and this is where I would sit and hatch my plan to conquer the world. It's a great room, and I don't know if you can hear it on the video, but it has all the sound sucked out of it as well. So it's my contemplation room with some great detail in the paneling on the ceiling to be enjoyed. So we're now on the second level on the private areas of the home, and I want to start with the primary suite. There are a few details that I want to point out. Of course, it feels very romantic. One thing to note is the plaster work, which again has been preserved for 100 years, which just gives this home and homes of this age just such a personality. And I have my own private balcony off the primary, where I can enjoy views all the way across the Los Angeles basin, including downtown, which didn't exist when this house was built. So I'm now entering the primary bathroom area, and I love that this has been preserved, this lilac dressing area with these two arms, which I gotta be honest with you, I don't really know what that's for. Maybe it's for hanging a dress over or a shirt. And then we enter into the bathroom, which again has the same motif, the lilac tile. I feel really like I'm back in 1928. This for sure is the original sink. I think the lilac tile is original. However, I think the black and white tile has been added later, but it looks perfect. So not a bad guest room. This is pretty massive, and the light streaming in is beautiful. And again, the motif in the plaster has been kept in this bedroom, and I hope it remains for the rest of time, because it really is something special. And what my owner did here was create this fantastic sunroom, beautiful light on all sides, super private. This originally will have been open to the air, but over the years it got enclosed, and I think this is a beautiful addition. Now come with me, because I've got something to show you that is a little bit different. The owner of this home has a lot of clothes. And so she took a whole bedroom to put a closet in. This isn't the first time I've seen this, but of course this is a fully fledged bedroom on its own, or it can be a fabulous closet. And then to round out the ensemble of the private areas of the home, we have this additional darling bedroom, which is located on the south side of the upper floor, which has its own charming ensuite bathroom, which again is kept to the original design of the build. I'm now on the lower level of this home, and as you can hear, the sound has disappeared because I'm in my own screening room, complete with 6 leather chairs, digital display, and this is something, ladies and gentlemen, I have yearned for in my house. And one day, I promise, I will get one. I also like the detail of having the glimmering stars in the ceiling. It makes me feel like I'm sitting in the back of a Rolls Royce. Now we're going to continue looking at some of the areas on the exterior of the home. With Spanish homes, you see a lot of these covered patios, and there are lots of areas of interest. I'm not going to point them all out, but I'm going to point out some of my favorites. Like this is one that I would be sitting in all day. I burn really easily, but I love the sun. So this would allow me to sit outside, maybe even have some food out here. Behind me there is an outdoor fireplace right here, which is beautiful with these oversized ironwork, which is pretty great. So now let's head down to the pool deck. So if you shut your eyes, you can just imagine the kind of parties that were happening here. What did Charlie Chaplin jump into that pool? Maybe. It certainly would have been the right era, and it would have been the right location. All been reimagined. We have a beautiful little courtyard on that side of the pool. And then let me take you up here for this adorable moment. I have the most perfect sun deck with a beautiful shot of the house behind me. But this is just so cute. You have men's and women's changing rooms and showers. Again, from a bygone era, but preserved, which is just a really lovely touch. And then just to the east side of the house, We have this quaint little garden, again super private. You've got some outdoor dining over here, which is just beautiful to enjoy the smell of that jasmine that is just flourishing in the background. I just want to show you the front and then we will be done. We have these beautiful arches, the Sortillo tile roof, the arched window that leads into the dining room, and my favorite part, which is where it all began, is this olive tree, which I suspect was planted when the house was built. So this lady is 100 years old. Thank you so much for coming with me on this tour of this fabulous, beautifully preserved 100-year-old Spanish home here in Los Feliz. If you want more information, just hit me in the comments, give me a ping, you know where to find me. And until next time, this is Pete Lorimer saying thank you so much for being with me, and I'll see you later.